Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mayor's Monday message for Monday, August 22nd, 2022. My mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Christine Helfer-Klemp. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. I wanted to change things up a little bit and talk about a little bit more than just events and things that are going on, and talk about things that we are doing, progress that we are making in the city, and some questions that are out there. So I'm going to start off today. This weekend on the Joe Live show, some folks brought up the new car washing restrictions that the city has put into place. And I want to assure you that it's not the city that has put these into place, it's the state that has put them into place. And the main one that affects most people is no washing your cars with any kind of detergents anymore. So you can wash your cars, just use water and a sponge and get that dirt off of your car, but you're not allowed anymore to use any kind of detergents and things like that. And that's because we all have to share the same space, we all have to share the same water, and that is having negative effects on local waterways, on the Chesapeake Bay, people that use those waterways to make a living, and people that recreate on those waterways. So in an effort to make sure that we can all continue to utilize our waters of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the United States, the state of Pennsylvania has determined that we cannot use soap and detergents anymore to wash our cars. So don't blame the messenger here. This is something that we had to put in place, and I personally agree with it. But it is, it's part of living together as a community and as a world, is that we can't always do what we want to do, and what we did yesterday was not always the best thing, so we got to be ready to change it. So that's the response on the new car washing restrictions that are being put in place. Also, there's been questions about the bike lane, and this is one of the things I want to highlight. The bike lane on King Street is already being used by so many people. Unfortunately, it's not quite open yet. We have our last inspections, hopefully our last inspections, knock on wood, with PennDOT on Wednesday. And after that, then we can start looking at when we can actually open the bike lane. So we have to make sure that it is all official and legal and approved by the state before we can do that. But I am excited just to see people utilizing it. And I hope that, over a short period of time, we'll be able to connect that lane with the rail trail and the Broad Street Greenway, and perhaps a new trail that might come up the west side. And we will have safe areas for people to bike throughout the city. And I hope that people do choose to use those areas, because I know it's not that easy to bike in this city. Our streets are narrow. Our streets were mostly designed before cars existed. Some of them, actually all of them, were designed before bikes existed. So realize that we are trying to fit a round peg into a square hole here, and trying to all live together in a essentially colonially designed town, colonial and Victorian town, and we're doing our best to all work together here. So I hope that those that are choosing to go long distances across town can utilize the bike lane and the rail trails whenever possible. What a great weekend for events this past weekend, and a great weekend coming up. The Youth Empowerment Games at Albemarle Park, with police and youth and adults all competing. I even jumped into the obstacle course. It wasn't pretty, but I did it. And in less than 40 seconds, I must say. Well, I didn't come in last. I thought for sure I'd come in last. But it was really great. And thank you to Harry O for all your work, and the Underground, which is a record and clothing shop that's been there for over 25 years on 700 block of East Market Street. Just really, really great work to get the city's staff, police, working with the kids and adults in a fun way. So there's a obstacle course, basketball competition, dance competition, dozens and dozens of medals and trophies that were given away, and that is coming back again next year. So this was the second annual. So keep an ear to the ground for next August, and either get your practicing for obstacle courses, dance contest, or basketball, and who knows what else they'll come up with by next year. Also, the York City Ranch, just Cowboy and his team did an amazing job on Saturday to bring horses and music and all sorts of activities. The tug of war at the end was a lot of fun. Must have had 25 or 30 people on that rope pulling back and forth. Yeah, just good time. That's their first event, and I really hope that people come around them. Both of these events, I really hope that city people and businesses come around and support these individuals who are investing so much energy into our community, and but they also need your energy, and they need some time energy, they need some green energy. The more they've proven themselves to put on good events, and we need to support them and help them grow, as well as so many other organizations throughout our city that are doing great things. Another thing I experienced this weekend was Ludmila Pawlowska. She is I believe, a Russian-born artist, now living in Sweden. She had a very moving art experience at St. John's Episcopal Church on North Beaver Street, the 100 block of North Beaver Street there. Beautiful church on its own merit, but also well over 100 different pieces of art. And they're not just pieces of art, they're pieces of thought. And I had the honor of getting a personal tour with the artist, and there's so much depth to what she has put into this art, and some of it you can feel right away, some of it you have to spend a little bit of time with it, but it is it's very, very thought-provoking. It's very, very makes you look at yourself. There are literally pieces that make you physically look at yourself. She includes mirrors in some of her pieces to incorporate you into the piece. Sometimes as a call out about what is your role in war in the world, and sometimes it's what is your role in spreading love in the world. So it was very moving, and that exhibit, that experience is going on through October 30th, and St. John's Episcopal Church will be open Saturdays 1 to 5 p.m., and there's a link there for more information. But I just want to thank Ludmila and St. John's Episcopal for bringing that amazing experience that's on a worldwide tour right now, and also is raising money in defense of Ukraine, the people of Ukraine. So all across the board, just an incredible thing that the city of York is very, very blessed to have. That runs us right into more and more art. We've got so much art going on in the city. York Arts Week has started on Saturday and is going on all through this week. There's a link there for more than 40 different events and exhibits. Royal Square Community Day is on Friday from noon to 5. All kinds of events happening, noon to 5, noon to 9. All-day event in Royal Square. If you don't know, they call that Royal because the King and the Duke and the Princess and the Queen all kind of come together in this block that is the 100 block of King Street, of East King Street. So Royal Square having events there on Friday, and then Saturday, lots of events happening in Wico. That's the west of the Cadorus neighborhood, around the Cadorus Creek to Penn Street, and then Philadelphia and Market Street area. And among other exhibits and things going on, Walking the Arts in Wico is all day on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the same time as the Cigar Box Guitar Festival back in York. One of the most prominent cigar box guitar festivals in the world, right here in York. It is quite a treat. You can go down there for not too many dollars. You can get yourself a cigar box guitar and join along. And it's just a neat piece of history that really ties into our rural roots, African American roots, people making do with what they had to continue to celebrate and continue to have fun and praise God in their way. And it's just it all comes together. The cigar box guitar has a lot more depth than maybe some people give it credit for. But Cigar Box Guitar Festival on Saturday. Also on Saturday, the 150th anniversary of the Lebanon Cemetery. It's finally, after many years, has gotten a lot of exposure. Interview with CNN last week or the week before. And thank you to Samantha Dorm and Jeff Kirkland and all the folks that are, Tina Charles, all the folks that have been involved with bringing this at least national level, if not international level, ground, this space that is the resting place for so many prominent African Americans, not only from York, but from other places that came to York and then found their final resting place there. Also those that preached and worked around the world, and then came back and had their resting place here in York in the African American Cemetery. So that's being celebrated on Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. appropriately at AME Zion Church at 401, or I'm sorry, at Small Memorial AME Church at 401 South Queen Street, 3 to 5 p.m. We're getting ready to enter into Overdose Awareness Month, and as we have been doing every month, free Narcan with a little bit of training is being handed out here tomorrow here at City Hall, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I've got my kit in the car just in case anything happens. I have a kit at home in case anything happens in the park or in the neighborhood where I am. It is good to be prepared. Unfortunately, in this world, some people are falling into a space where they're really harming themselves, and if we can give them a second chance, maybe they'll go to the next event, which is just for today. Their overdose awareness event, their second annual event, is happening on Saturday, also from 3 to 6 p.m. That's out on the east edge of York City, 1337 East Market Street. And they've done some amazing work, and there are amazing people over there to help you if you need any help. So there's two really good events tomorrow: Narcan distribution right out front, 101 South George Street, and then on Saturday, the overdose awareness event at 1337 East Market Street. I was just down by the Cadorus. Actually, I was just fishing in the Cadorus last night. But the Greenercadorus initiative still continues. That is something that I started back in 2002, I think, to chop the vegetation along the creek so that the Army Corps of Engineers doesn't spray herbicides and kill everything. We made an agreement with them, but we've got to keep up on our end of the agreement, which is chopping down the weeds by hand. If we don't chop them down by hand, they're going to come in and spray everything and kill everything along the creek. So that's their maintenance plan for the flood control channel. The channel is something that while we're trying to improve it, it is very important and saves millions and millions of dollars of lives every couple of decades, every decade or two. A big flood comes through that otherwise would be destroying people's properties and maybe taking lives. So the channel is still important to York, even more so because the more we pave the suburbs, the more water goes shooting down suburbs and rural areas, the more water comes shooting down that channel. So we have to make sure that we maintain that properly. But we found a good compromise, but we need you to help. If you like getting out there and chopping down weeds and running weed whackers and making the city better, that's your opportunity is on Wednesday from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Foundry Plaza. That's right just by the old waterway, across from the Susquehanna Commerce Center, 226 West Philadelphia Street. Finally, Downtown York's magazine its quarterly magazine is got its Changemaker issue coming up, and Changemakers are people within our community that are really making a difference by uplifting their neighbors, their friends, their families, dealing with issues of racism and trying to improve opportunities for everyone. And they are taking nominees until till Monday. And if you have a nominee for somebody who's really making a change here in York, please contact them through the website or through the link in the post. And we will have a whole new list of candidates to recognize for the great work that is going on in the city. And for everything that you hear every once in a while, certainly know that I appreciate personally everything that everybody is doing to try and move this city forward. There's not a day that I am not touched by somebody who is taking the time to help somebody else, not just help themselves get up, but help lift somebody else up. And that's what we need here in the city. So whether it's the Just for Today folks with people that have fallen down with addiction, or people like my friend Russie at Russie Sweet Treats, who's helping the kids with their entrepreneurship, helping kids start businesses so they can believe in themselves and be our next generation of great people here in York. There's so many people that I see, and I'm very grateful that Team York is doing a lot. So don't listen to any naysayers out there, because you know what you're doing and we know what you're doing, and we're moving the right direction. So lots of things to do here in York. I hope you do make it down to St. John's Episcopal, because that was a really impressive art experience there. An internationally known artist coming to York. But I'll be out this weekend, and I hope to see you around the city. Have a good week.